Hello all you fellow survivors, it's your resident pencil pusher, Joey Blacktie. And in my next tutorial, I want to talk about the simplest technique you can use to extend your chases. Now, full disclosure, I am not a looping god, far from it. I've seen my fair share of videos on best practices involving chase efficiency, and I even know how to 360 from a technical perspective at least, but I'm still just learning. What I want to show you is far simpler in nature, and I'll put it out there that if you can master this simple move, you're well on the right path to spinning killers without even realizing it. And what might that special move be, you might ask? It's none other than what I like to call the shimmy. It's common knowledge that killers are faster than survivors, and ever since the more recent updates, killers get bloodlust even faster than before. Now, of course, you need to get into the habit of hugging the obstacles and running loops as tightly as you can, but sometimes that requires a base knowledge of tiles so that you can path them properly. That might be something you haven't acquired quite yet. And of course, you need to be able to react to killer movements so you can potentially fake them out. But again, and I don't know about you folks, but when I'm in a chase, my adrenaline is going way too hard to be thinking or reacting properly sometimes. It certainly requires a good amount of playtime to desensitize the rush you get. That way you can make better decisions. This is all stuff we've seen before in video after video. But you want to know what you can do right now that in no way is dependent on your personal experience or skill level? Do not run in a straight line. Maybe you rarely or never play killer, but the key difference is the field of view. Killers have a first-person perspective with a dramatically smaller field of view compared to survivors, and that leaves a lot of room to capitalize on. Remember, most killers' attacks are linear in nature, as in when they go in to give you a smack, the danger zone is directly in front of where they're facing. While the nature of that attack has some wiggle room by way of add-ons, perks, or mechanical skill, it rarely ever changes that being directly in front of the killer is the most dangerous location on the map. So why on earth would you ever run in a straight line? Here's where the shimmy enters the story. By and large, the simplest and most effective mind game, this small side-to-side movement more often than not puts the killer in a difficult situation. You see, in that critical moment when you are in range, the killer has to make sure their single linear attack will hit you. When they see the shimmy, they are faced with making a split-second decision on where to commit that attack. Maybe it's to the left, or maybe it's to the right. Maybe it's the beginning of a 360, and they'll have to spin themselves to try to hit you. There is no way they can know. With a simple shimmy, the killer may panic and swing into air, buying you precious time to keep the chase going. Or maybe they chase you even longer so that way they are so close they couldn't possibly miss. Either way, you buy you and your team valuable seconds, and this game is defined by seconds. But here's the most beautiful thing about the shimmy. The shimmy is a gateway drug to all spins. You start small and do baby shimmies just to get into the habit of doing it. Ideally, you do want to keep your killer's movements in your field of view to help you decide when to shimmy and which direction is best to start. Once you get in the hang of it, start making your shimmies a little bit more exaggerated. And once you get to the point where your shimmies are wide and wild, you're in the 90-degree territory. 90s are just as powerful and just as frustrating to go against. And the most beautiful thing is that if you're doing 90s on the killer, you're in a sense already doing 180s. And if you're doing 180s, you're basically doing 360s. In the end, the motion is the same. You're just deciding how fully you're committing to the movement. The shimmy has completely changed the game for me. Go ahead and watch my games from a few months ago and you'll see the difference it makes. I hope this helps you, and if you have any ideas on what my next tutorial should be about, please let me know in the comments. I stream Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I'd love to see you stop by and let me know if this video helped you. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.